What's up, guys? Kyle over here at the Horror File, coming to you with another Top 10 Tuesday. This week's theme is Top 10 movies, sequels to movies that were better than the original. So basically, I'm going to take this as ones that I liked more, as far as, you know, I enjoyed them more, and there's one or two on here that you guys might be surprised about, but it's not because I really like them more than the first or they were better than the first. I like some of the character development better, and there was more. Some of them had more action than the first ones, even though the first ones may be a better movie or more classic movie than some of the ones I picked. I just felt like the character development in a couple of them and some of the screenplay was a little bit better. So we'll kind of kick it off. I'm not going to really have these in any particular order. So I'm going to kick it off with one of the ones that you guys will probably be the most surprised about. And this is not because I like this movie better than the first. I really still like the first movie. But I do like the characters better in this movie. And I felt like there wasn't more action than the first. I mean, there was and there wasn't. But there were some more scenes I just really particularly liked better in this movie. This was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I still love the first movie. I still think it's way better than this, or not way better, but I think it's better. I really like the characters in this. In this movie, you got Chop Top, and you know, Dennis Hopper was really cool in this movie. I like the scene in this movie where at the beginning where Leatherface is on top of the truck, and I thought that was like a really awesome scene. I kind of think that the truck scene and him on top of that kind of for me topped, you know, any scene that was in the first one. I mean, there was a lot of very classic and popular scenes in the first one, but I really enjoyed this movie. I really like the second part of this movie. I don't know. There's just something about the second part that always is going to be close to me, and I really like. And I feel like I've seen I've seen number 2 more than I've seen number 1. I like the fact that they're in the radio station, and I feel like that's more of a creepy vibe when the girl is caught in that one room. You got Leatherface on one side, and you got Chop Top on the other, and you know, just a really awesome sequel. So I kind of want to include this. This is probably going to be, everybody's going to be surprised about this, but I don't know, I like it. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The next one is Insidious II. I very much prefer this movie over the first one. I don't mind the first one. I like the first one, but I don't know. I just liked Insidious II better. I just felt like it kind of captivated. It hit on aspects that the first movie didn't get, and it just was better. I like the storyline a little bit better. How the father, you know, was, you know, how the father had basically the same thing the kid had in the first one, and you know, he gets lost and blah, blah, blah. You guys have seen it, I'm sure. But yeah, Insidious 2. I really like this version, or this. I really like the second one more. I like the first one. Next one, Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead. I really love Dead Snow 1. I just like the second one better, man. If you guys haven't seen this one, I very highly suggest you check this out. This movie is awesome. Like, the second one's very good. It's a lot more, I don't know if it's more gory. I like the storyline of this one. It's very cheesy. But yeah, I mean, Dead Snow 2, I mean, there's really not much to say about Dead Snow. They're great, awesome, hilarious movies. So check it out. Yeah. We're going to kind of jump, I'm going to jump into a couple Blu-rays here. This next one is Hatchet 2. I like Hatchet. I like the first Hatchet. And this is one of those cases where I really like the first and the second one. There's not a lot of comparing them, but the second one had a lot more, seemed like it had more like violence and gore. And I like the fact Tony Todd's in it. I really like Tony Todd a lot, and it just felt like it was a better storyline, like a better made movie. I don't know. I like the second one. I still like the first one, but I think the second one was, I've seen the second one more than I've seen the first one, but I really like the second one. So I'm sure you guys have seen the Hatchet series, or at least one of these movies. It's Adam Green's movies. So yeah, Hatchet 2. I don't want to keep this video too long. Next one, Wrong Turn 2. This movie, It's way better than the first movie. The first movie, in my opinion, kind of sucks. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I didn't really enjoy the first Wrong Turn that much. And like, this movie has Henry Rollins in it, and it's. I picked this one up the other day and actually watched this for the first time not too long ago, a couple days ago, and I much more prefer this movie over the first, or this movie over the first one. There's a lot. The storyline's cheesy. It's a Wrong Turn movie, but it still, in my opinion, is way better. So, Wrong Turn 2. Next one, this is the Prophecy Collection, but I really like the Prophecy 2 and 3. This has all of them on it. I don't know if you guys have seen the Prophecy movies with Christopher Walken, but 2 and then 3, The Ascent, is very good. The 4th and the 5th one just weren't that great at all. I like the first Prophecy movie. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad movie at all. It's great. It's classic. But the second and the third one are just really, the storyline's interesting. Christopher Walken's performance in it seems a lot better. I don't know. I really like these movies a lot. This one, with the help of a mysterious stranger, an innocent woman races to protect her child from the powers of evil and save all humanity. As fearsome armies of rebel angels wage war in heaven and on earth, Perial, the brutal angel of genocide, rises to power and intends to destroy mankind. The Ascent's really good. I really enjoyed The Ascent. The first one's awesome though too, so that's that. Prophecy. Next one I got is, and this is maybe a surprise to some of you guys as well, Halloween 2. I don't know, man. I really like the first Halloween, but this movie, it just had that eerie vibe in that hospital, man. I just really enjoyed this movie a lot. Like, I don't know. It's, in my opinion, this is probably my favorite Halloween. I just really like the vibe of being in the hospital. You got him kind of chasing you through the hospital. Everybody's hiding, you know, and it's, I don't know. I just really like the second one a lot. I just feel like this one kind of beats out the first one. I don't know. Maybe you guys have an opinion. I'm sure some of you guys like the first one better, but really like Halloween 2. I don't know. I just feel like this is a better quality, better movie. It seems like they got their shit together, and they came up with a really good storyline for this, and that hospital is very creepy and eerie. So, Halloween 2. Next one is not really much of a horror movie, but it's The Raid 2. This movie didn't come out that long ago. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of the Raid movies. They're pretty nuts. Very gory and just very over the top, like action movies. I wanted to include this one in here because I really like The Raid 2. I think this is a really awesome movie. It kind of reminds me of like not Riccio, but it's kind of got the same kind of, not storyline, but the same kind of action type sequences. It's very good storyline. It's directed by the same people that directed the first one. If you guys haven't checked out the Raid movies, I definitely recommend checking them out. My buddy told me to pick this one up. We watched it and it was pretty awesome. So, Raid 2, really enjoyed it. Really way better than the first one. I mean, it's not, the first one's great, but this one's just like really good. Storyline is great too. So, Raid 2. Last two, Day of the Dead. Honestly, Dawn and Day, in my opinion, are about on the same level. I fucking love Day of the Dead. This was probably my favorite for a long time, and then I always switch between Day and Dawn, like my favorite Dead movies. Really like Day of the Dead. Bub, great character, great storyline, great effects by Tom Savini. This is the old Anchor Bay release. I need to upgrade it to Screen Factory release, but yeah, the Day and Dawn are two of my favorite. I like them way better than Night. I don't know. Not really many after these that came out I really enjoyed by Romero. I mean, I liked Diary. I didn't think that was a bad one, but these, I mean, these are classic, man. Everybody should know about and like these. So, Day of the Dead. And last one, I talked about last week on my Top 10 Tuesday. This movie is 10 times better than the first one. I really enjoyed the second one. I Spit in Your Grave 2. If you guys don't have this, I would recommend picking this up. This has a really awesome storyline. It's kind of like a storyline, I'm trying to think of what it can be. It's kind of like the movie Taken, but like a brutal version of Taken. Like if Taken was a controversial, like gore film, like fest, it would be like this movie. Girl gets kidnapped. She goes for a photo shoot. She gets kidnapped in America by the people that are doing the photo shoot. They're Slovakian. They put her in a box. They ship her over to Slovakia. Torture, rape, piss on her. They do pretty much everything unimaginable to her, man. And she's hot. I mean, she really is. She's pretty hot. So, but she definitely doesn't deserve to get all that done to her. It's cool because I just noticed this. She's got a stun gun in her hand. She actually stuns this guy's like nuts off, like with that thing. This movie is super gory, man. It's very, very good. I am very surprised that, and this really, honestly, doesn't really have to be an I Spit on Your Grave movie. This could have been named something else and just not even stuck with the I Spit on Your Grave. But it is a revenge movie in the vein of I Spit on Your Grave. But this movie, in my opinion, is way, like, I got kind of bored with the first I Spit on Your Grave remake. I don't know, I just kind of get bored with it. This movie kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I wanted to finish it. I had to go when I first was watching it and get back to work, and I was like, fuck, I want to finish this movie. And I went back and I finished it. This movie's like, I give this movie a 9 out of 10, man. It's really good. The acting's good in it. The chick, the main character, is really good. The bad guys, you really feel for the characters. I mean, not the bad guys, but you really feel for her, and like, you really hate the bad guys. Like, you really hate the guys that are like doing this stuff to her. They'll piss you off. Just like getting to know their characters and how they act. You'll really fucking hate these dudes. But yeah, recap. I Spit on Your Grave 2. Do the Blu-rays. Halloween 2. Hatchet 2. And I didn't do all these as being 2. I noticed that a lot of these are like 2, something 2. But that just happened to be the way it was. Wrong Turn 2, definitely better than the first one. The first one of these was boring, sort of. We got the Raid 2. Prophecy 2 and 3. I would say both of them. I have not seen any of the Prophecy movies in a while, but all I remember from watching them is I enjoyed the second and third one better. I thought they were just better storyline and better acting and stuff. So I honestly highly recommend the third one. I do remember some of the third one, and I thought it was really interesting. So Prophecy 2 and 3. Day of the Dead, of course. Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead. This is a great movie. You guys need to check this out if you haven't seen it. Insidious 2. Obviously better than the first one in my opinion. I remember seeing this in the theater. I was like, the storyline's way better. And last but not least, like I said, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Do not like it more than I like the first one. I just like the characters and how it makes, like, the first one made me feel uneasy. This one made me feel claustrophobic and very, I just really enjoyed the characters in this movie. It wasn't that I liked the movie better. I just really enjoyed the characters and the subplot in this movie. And I really enjoyed Dennis Hopper's character a lot more than I really enjoyed any of the characters or how they were in the first one. I think that he kind of had a better performance in this one. So cool. That is my top 10 Tuesday. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys agree, disagree. I always like constructive criticism. And give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And until next time, peace.